So BlackBerry getting down to business, the company's long-awaited keyboard model phone, the Q10, flying off shelves in its UK debut. It is set to go on sale in Canada on Wednesday, but when can we expect to see it here in the U.S.? BlackBerry's CEO, Thorsten Heins, joins me now from the Milken Institute in Los Angeles, and that is certainly the number one question. When can we expect to see that phone here in the U.S.?
I know there's a lot of people waiting for this. Right now we're targeting for end of May delivery and launch in the US.
Just this morning, RBC Capital raised its estimates for sales of both BlackBerry 10 devices to 2.75 million from 2 million previously. What's your reaction to that number?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about that. We see Z10 selling already well. We had to crank up production a few weeks ago, as I said earlier, and now the Q10 is on a very, very strong and exciting launch in the UK. So, I mean, we're really excited of where we are. There's still a way to go, but the initial signs for both BlackBerry 10 products are extremely exciting for our company.
So does 2.75 million, does that feel like a high bar to you, or does that seem like it's about where you think you might be?
I mean, we have our own numbers that we look at, but we certainly have high expectations against the Q10 with the keyboard that people are really waiting for. So we can sell into an installed base of Qwerty BlackBerries of about 70 million. Now, run the math of upgrade cycles in corporations and with consumers. So we are looking for some really exciting numbers.
Okay, so I'm taking that as you're not going to share what those really exciting numbers are that you're looking for are.
That is a fair statement.
Okay, all right, fair enough. The number one question that I had from viewers, because I was telling people all weekend that you were going to be on this show, is they want to know when you're going to take back market share. If you look at smartphone subscriber market, you compare last February to this February. In 2012, you had 13% of the market, but right now in February of 2013, you only had 5.4%. Do you think that you can take back market share, and how much with these new phones?
I think this is a discussion about the average temperature in a hospital. Actually, you have to understand that we are in a certain segment as BlackBerry that we're trying to target here. Hyper-connected, multitasking, achiever people, right? That need to get stuff done. So there's segmentation in the market, and I'm interested in the market share in the segments where I'm playing with these products. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not going to be in a $60, $90, $120 product, as I said before. And in that segment that we're targeting as BlackBerry, we have quite some aspirations because we want to be back with the business pros, we want to be back with the achievers, with the BlackBerry people.
Okay, you got into a bit of a fight recently with an analyst that was trying to drill down on some of the numbers. Detweiler Fenton made a comment saying that the Z10 smartphone, that customers were giving them back to the point where returns were now exceeding sales in some cases. That comment really irked you to the point where you asked the SEC to go ahead and investigate. And I'm wondering, in order for them to investigate, you have to be alleging fraud. You're sort of saying that this analyst intentionally said something that was untrue, trying to manipulate the stock price. Is that how you feel? Is that what you think happened?
I mean, we're in the middle of the process to work with SEC and the regulators on this very specific case. I mean, mathematically, it's basically possible to have higher returns than sales, right? So I don't know what the data set is. We are on it. We're working with the authorities here to get the data set, and we'll take it from there. So we're in the middle of that process. But certainly, what I can tell you is that the return rates we have with the Z10 are absolutely in the range of what you would expect.
And what is that range? What would you expect? What is average? Because, and other analysts have responded to this saying that if you really feel like, you know, what he said was incorrect, then just tell us what the return rate is.
I mean, we have the statement even from our very valued customer Verizon saying it is within the range. They do their measurements, we do our measurements, so we have the data. But I will leave it to the process that we are now running with the authorities in order to really discuss the details on that matter. I will not do this in public, as you might understand.
Okay, and you don't want to tell us what the range is? And are they, in some cases, exceeding sales, or are they not?
Return rates cannot exceed sales. How would that work? You have to return more devices than you ever sold. That's mathematically impossible.
Well, I mean, at a current period in time on a day, you could have more devices coming back in that are going out, and I assume that that's what they meant by that, because certainly that's possible.
Yeah, but that is the sales rate versus the return rate. We are watching this on a weekly basis, so do our clients, the carriers. And as I said, and as Verizon said publicly, it's within the total expected range of returns.
Okay, and your expectations for this phone going forward, do you think the Q10 is going to be even more popular than the Z10? What has been the response from consumers having a keyboard versus having all touchscreen? Because I know one of the things that people like myself, I mean, I have stuck to my BlackBerry all this time because I have a really hard time typing on a touchscreen. What do you think will end up being the winner in the long run of these two devices?
I think they will have both a life in our industry, right? The industry has segmented to different form factors. That's why we build full touch devices and the QWERTY devices. But for the people who just love the typing, I mean, the QWERTY keypad is it, the physical keypad. We've extended the screen, so the screen is larger than the Bold 9900. And from that perspective, we're trying to get really as close to a great best of both worlds experience as we can. And we get some fantastic feedback. You talked about the UK launch, and it was unexpected in terms of numbers and lineups in front of the shop. So good signal overall for us.
Well, I've had a BlackBerry myself forever, so I'm excited to see it. Thorsten, thanks for coming on.